Hey, boys and girls, it is Thursday. It's the 30th, the very last day of April. And we're going to get right into our lesson today because it's a good one and it's really going to help you to understand our unit just a little bit better. So give me just a second and I'll pull up my screen and we'll share. Not the Zoom screen. Not that. Okay, here we go. Our lesson today is comparing themes in fantasy and in history. And so these are going to be some universal themes or themes that we see often. Okay, so here is our connection. Today, we're going to share observations, which is themes are appearing again and again in these stories. Okay, so I want to point out that some of you guys are already noticing this. Books like Number the Stars and I Am Rosa Parks, you might have noticed that these themes appear in more than one book. And that's common. That's okay. I know that when you have read historical fiction, you did some similar work with this, okay? So what is interesting is that we are reading novels that are fantasy, right? They're made up. They have magic in them. But yet we are seeing similar themes to one that came up in realistic and historical fiction, okay? So maybe, just maybe, this makes us think, right, that themes are not even just universal to books. Let's explore more and see what we mean by that. All right. Here's our teaching point, readers. Today, I want to teach you that knowledgeable readers, that's what you guys are, assume that some themes are so important and so universal that they appear in more than one book and across history as well. Sophisticated readers, also you, then are alert for these themes and they bring their knowledge of history to what they're reading to compare how these themes play out. Okay? Let's take a look at this little lovely chart. This would be up on our anchor chart, right? If we were in the building, which we're not, but you can still see what I'm saying here. Compare themes in fantasy and history. You'll look at, there are two books here. They've got Number the Stars and they've got Dragon Slayers Academy, but and one is like a historical fiction, one is a fantasy, but they both have the same theme, and that is that people are stronger together than alone. Cool. Okay, so let's look at some different themes in history because there are a few, right? The first one that I want to mention is that kids grow up fast in times of trouble. We're going to talk about more of these in a second. Even ordinary people or minor characters can affect events. We're going to also talk about that a little bit more. Ordinary people, like you and me, can be capable of great courage, okay? The next one is when people band together, they can build power to change. I hope some of these are ringing a bell for you guys because these are the just super common themes throughout history, okay? Where there is power, there is also resistance. That's a good one. Stay tuned for that. And humans are capable of great evil to each other and great goodness, okay? So let's take a little look-see, okay? This whole bit of kids grow up fast in times of trouble. Well, hello, that's what's happening right now. We are all growing up fast in this time of coronavirus. You are doing the things that you've never had to do before. You're social distancing. You might have a mask now in case you have to go to the store. You're learning virtually. Like there are tons of things. You might have to share a device with somebody at your house. I know I have to sometimes. You might have to deal with, internet problems. There's lots of things happening, but we're growing up through this time, and that's right now. We're living in history right now, okay? So let's look at the next theme. The next theme says that even ordinary people or minor characters can affect events, okay? So think about our read aloud. Mrs. Griffin is just an ordinary girl. She's a lady now, I know. But she was an ordinary girl who went to the holiday house just like Harvey. But she's doing her part to make it better for the other kids who are trapped there. She's making food and making what might be a terrible experience better by her food and just by being nice to the kids and being there for them, okay? So let's look at one more, okay? These are good. When people band together, they can build power to change. Okay, this makes me think about women's suffrage, right? Because women came together to change that constitution for all women to vote, right? This is a real life example, but also can be happening in a fantasy book. When people band together, they can build power to change. Okay, I think we're ready. Okay, here's our stop and jot for today, Thursday the 30th. In this chapter, you, the reader, learns an important truth about power in the holiday house. And that is, where there is power, there is also resistance. Okay, think about Harvey and Jive. Okay, and even maybe Mr. Hood. Let's think about that. What is the importance of this truth to Harvey's quest, and how can the reader connect this to history? Okay, I want you to give this some real thoughts, and then I think that you're ready to go log in to SSO. Then you're going to log into Canvas for Language Arts. You're going to respond to your question of the day. Be sure to hit submit when you have finished and you have checked your spelling. And then reading logs will be entered on Friday's quiz in Canvas. So you don't have to worry about that today. Okay, you guys, I think that you are amazing. And I think that you guys are doing a great job. And I know that you're making the best out of this, as am I. And I hope that we will see each other on Zoom on Fridays. And oh, I told the kids on the Zoom today, I don't know if all of you were there, but I did order a microphone. So if you're having a hard time hearing my voice, hopefully it's going to come in this weekend and that problem should be alleviated very soon. All right, guys, hope you have a great Thursday.